Sorry, we were both just dancing and rocking out to that just now. Welcome to the Silverwood Show podcast. I'm your host, Sarah, and I'm here. No intro this week because he is just the one and only Jordan Carter. Hi.
No, I like that better.
Yeah, is that good? Okay. We're going to save like 17 minutes there. So I figured.
We have a longer podcast coming up.
Yes, we do. And I think they know enough about you at this point that you couldn't beat last week's poem.
That's true.
So
let's just end on a high note right there.
Yeah, we really will. We really will. But we still have our intro our intro grame. So
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either, but that is what we have. So you can still kind of get to know us in case they've skipped ahead.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't like listening from the beginning.
This is a pretty special podcast, right? So
we're gonna have some new listeners for this one.
One. So let's
some
play our intro
breaking news.
Yeah.
After our intro.
In
other words, I'm letting Jordan talk today. Okay.
I will start out. I'm going to start out then.
Yeah, I'm ready.
What would the title of your autobiography be?
Saradise.
Saradise.
It's a play on paradise, and it's this little world that I live in.
Got it.
As you've probably noticed.
Yes.
And it's happy, and there's kittens and butterflies and poofy clouds made of cotton candy.
Saradise. Got it. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I can handle that.
Yeah. Isn't it great, though?
I think it works for you.
I think so, too. Yeah, Saradise.
How long have you been thinking about this?
Since I started thinking I need to write a book. And so, actually a really long time.
How long have you been thinking about that?
A long time.
Okay.
A long time. I keep putting it off because I wasn't, inspired. But I think I'm inspired. It might just happen soon. Yeah.
Saradise. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So be prepared for cotton candy clouds.
If you see Saradise in stores or on Amazon, purchase it.
Make me a New York Times best-selling author.
Great. In the category of?
It would be an autobiography. So it would be about my super crazy life.
I think you'd be probably the #1 seller in autobiographies by a theme park PR manager that also has a podcast called Silverwood Show.
I think you just might be right. Just like we're #1 in travel and whatever in Kyrgyzstan.
Right, exactly. A lot of Kyrgyzstans want to come to Idaho.
Exactly. So how about you? What would yours be?
I think mine would be Hands Up.
Hands up. Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That just came to me. So
really?
Yeah.
I think you need to do it.
I knew it had something to do with roller coasters, but hands up, that's kind of how I live my life.
That. Yeah, no, that's good. Seriously, just let go and scream. Really
let
loud.
Go and scream, yes, and have fun.
But I would read your book.
Okay, good.
I totally would.
I got one reader. Here we go.
I'm sure you've got a few more.
So you're going to have competition on your Amazon bestseller.
Okay, we're going to, when it happens, we're making it happen.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and we've got a great illustrator upstairs for both of us. He can draw our pictures.
And we can make a teaser video, all that stuff. Great.
Okay, it's happening. So 2026, be on the lookout.
Yeah, it's going to be a competition of whose autobiography sells better.
Yeah.
Okay.
And more. Okay, it's happening.
You're on. Saradise versus Hands Up.
Well, speaking of hands up, would you rather have feet for hands or hands for feet?
I would definitely rather have hands for feet.
Yeah. Okay. Why?
Because then I could grab things.
Yeah.
I mean, like monkeys that kind of already have hands for feet, and they seem to do pretty good. I don't think I would do well with feet on my hands.
Yeah.
I don't really like feet, so I don't want them showing all over the place, all that kind of stuff. So, hands up would have to have all hands.
All hands. I think you're absolutely right. And I'm going to agree with you because I too would want all hands because I've always kind of wanted to be a monkey. And I think that would be really fun to just be able to swing from everything.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Like full Spider-Man style.
Yeah.
Spider monkey.
So,
okay.
That was easy. That was
a really easy
one. If you could bring back any fashion trend or slang word, what would that be?
Well, I'm going to go with the slang word because we were talking about this, actually, our producer over there and I were talking about this last week, and it would totally be like, holy guacamole and oh my Lanta. Remember those? Or is that still cool?
I don't know if it was ever cool.
Hey now.
It was something.
It was something, and I would bring those back. Okay. And there was another one, but I can't remember what it is. Oh, well.
Got it.
Oh, my Lanta.
Okay. Well.
Holy guacamole.
Holy guacamole. My Lanta.
Yeah. Oh, my Lanta.
Is that what you would scream when you go down panic plunge? Holy guacamole. Holy
guacamole. Oh, my Lanta. Oh, my Lanta might be more like aftershock because I'd need some my Lanta after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
Isn't
it.
that like for tummies?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Like Pepto-Bismol?
Yeah. Oh, my Pepto.
Oh, my Pepto.
That could work.
That's a new one.
I say we start a new one.
Oh, my Pepto.
Okay, it's happening.
And then we need to get this podcast sponsored by Pepto-Bismol.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. Okay, so either Mylanta, Pepto, or some guacamole brand.
Yes.
If you're listening right now, we need sponsors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sponsored by avocados from Mexico and Pepto-Bismol. The Silverwood Show podcast.
I'll reach out after the show.
Okay.
We'll see what I can do.
We'll see what we can do.
Okay.
Oh.
Jordan, I think I know what yours would be because of this amazing sweatshirt that you're wearing today, and I'm actually completely envious
get it for the video.
of it. So we're gonna have to show this online for sure. Yeah. Because what is it? Tell us what you're wearing.
I definitely went through a phase where I just loved crew neck sweatshirts.
Yeah.
And they had to be vintage. And when I started working at Silverwood, I went to Valley Village in Spokane, and I found this pristine vintage TREMORS
amazing
crew neck sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And I don't know what year it's from, but probably like one of the first years.
It's got to be one of the first years. Yeah.
And it's kind of a pride and joy for like nostalgia theme park memorabilia for me. And so time. I knew we'd be talking about TREMORS today. And so I thought, what better thing than to wear it? So vintage crew neck sweatshirts. I used to have one that was, it was said the Donkey Kong Bunch, and it was like Brady Bunch, but it was all the Donkey Kong.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Once I got married, that one went away. So
she won't let you wear it.
I don't think so.
I wonder why.
It was not the best, but I do like a good vintage.
Did the Donkey Kong one go away with the big flower beanie?
No,
are those in the same drawer somewhere?
Maybe. It may be.
They could be. If you listen, now you have a reason to listen to last week's episode.
Yes.
If you haven't. So you'll know what we're talking about. But let me see what it says. Okay.
Yes.
Shake, rattle, and ride. Shake, rattle, and ride.
Shake, rattle, and ride, yeah.
Top speed, 60 miles per hour. Drop 103 feet. Plunges underground. Silverwood. And there's some really creepy.
Yeah, they are creepy.
They look like they belong on Scary Wood.
They like have holes for eyes, it looks like.
Yeah. Like what happened? Did they lose their eyeballs while they were riding?
The detail printing back in the early 2000s, late 90s was not as good as it is now.
It's a great sweatshirt, though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. We should probably just do like a recreate.
That'd be
sell
cool.
Underwear and vintage TREMORS sweatshirts.
Yeah, I might be a little late for this year, but we'll see what we can do.
Maybe in the future. Because if you've been following us on social, you've probably seen the old TREMORS commercial. We've been posting some fun nostalgia, and there was the original TREMORS commercial that brought back a lot of memories for a lot of people because it's a favorite, right?
Yeah, I mean, TREMORS is a favorite just in general. So that commercial from back in '99 was
awesome.
It was awesome.
So awesome.
We want to recreate it this year. It'd be really fun.
I think we should, for sure. Because we've got some exciting things happening.
We sure do.
So but we're not there yet.
We're not yet. That's in the big drop. We got to wait.
Big drop. You got to wait. That's we should, though, move into your favorite movie quote because you're scared.
Okay,
I know you thought I was going to skip it.
I thought you were going to skip it, but I would say the one that I use the most would be from Christmas Vacation, and probably it's a Butte Clark.
Oh,
it's a Butte Clark.
It's a Butte Clark.
Okay, yeah, that's probably our family. We quote a lot of Christmas Vacation. So
great movie to quote.
Dumb and Dumber is always a good one too. I really do like when he talks about. He asked that person when he's filling up gas, like, those your skis? Yeah, both of them.
Okay,
that's good. That's a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. How about you? I mean, I know you're ready for this, so
I have a couple different ones.
Okay.
But obviously the one that would go best with today's episode.
Okay.
I love Top Gun.
Okay.
And I feel the need for speed. It's fitting, huh?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one. But
you use that one often?
I mean, have you ever driven with me?
No.
I've driven with you, though, so you should probably start using it because this guy scoots, let me tell you. But my real favorite is Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner.
Okay.
Or I Carried a Watermelon, or really anything from Dirty Dancing. So,
okay.
Yeah. Or there's so much more room for activity.
Yeah, that's a good one. That one gets used a lot too.
Yeah,
yes.
that's Step Brothers, probably one of my all-time favorite movies. So yeah, there's that. Yeah. And is it Laughing's my favorite or Smiling's my favorite?
Smiling's my favorite.
Yeah, Smiling's my favorite.
Yeah. And I mean, okay, you can go all over the place with this.
Yeah, we're going to stop now.
I mean, the one that I think of is when Elf, when he's talking about maple syrup.
Yes.
Is there sugar in maple syrup? Then yes.
Yes. Yes. And that is the epitome of you.
I know. That's kind of why I was going with that.
You would make a great elf.
Thanks.
And we're derailing again.
Is that a compliment?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh, gosh, yes. That's like the best compliment.
Well, thank you.
You're so welcome, Jordan. If I had an intro for you, that would be in the next one. But okay, let's move into the Park Pulse.
Park Pulse.
Well, today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, and something is coming to an end tomorrow. Jordan, tell us what that is.
Preseason sale.
Done.
It ends at midnight. So, 11:59 on the 28th.
Yes.
So, if it ever hits March 1st, that sale's end.
It's over. And that means your best deals on season passes
are done.
They're
that's
done.
Our last
sale
on season passes. So season passes are at the best price they'll be, and after that, after tomorrow night, they go up to full price. Yeah. So buy those now and get ready for a great 2025.
Yeah,
and
best day ever.
First 1 day and 2 day tickets also on sale. So get those before it turns to March 1st, and then you'll be saving some money.
Yep. And if you would like to maybe try to win, the clock is ticking because you have till midnight tonight, Thursday, the 27th, to sign up to enter to win a season pass. It's a big deal.
That's a great,
great
prep. Where do they sign up for that?
They go to the blog.
The blog, silverwoodexpress.com.
So that's in the blog. You can find the link on all of our socials, all that good stuff. And of course, you heard it here first. The podcast, probably not because it's been running since Monday.
If they heard it here first, they're late. Yes.
Yeah, you're a little late, but you still have a chance to win. We're choosing 5 winners?
5 winners to win season passes for 2025.
Yes, it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be great. So, and then if you didn't win, you can still buy on the 28th for the preseason sale.
Yes, I promise I will make that announcement first thing tomorrow morning when I get to work. So you're going to see it on social. You're going to see it everywhere. You're going to know. Yeah. So if you didn't win,
make sure you check it.
Make sure that you're paying attention. So Jordan, you're going on a fun little trip, aren't you?
True. Yeah.
Where are you going?
There's a bunch of us that go every year to St. Louis. And so this is our annual Halloween convention trip. It's called Trans World. It's out in St. Louis, and it's a weird time of year because we are full go on Silverwood, but I'm trying to switch my brain to Scarywood just for 4 days.
As if you need to switch it. Your brain is always in Scarywood.
But I need to think 6-7 months ahead of what we're doing. So anyway, we're going there. We'll be there Wednesday, so through Sunday, which, surprise, we're recording this early because I am still here.
Yes, you are still here. But that's why we had to record early.
Right. So when you are listening to this, I am in St. Louis having fun.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
Anyway.
Exactly. And he's going to come back with all sorts of amazing things for Scarywood this year.
Yeah.
And
we have ideas. We have ideas that we aren't ready to release yet. But this is where we really go, and we find those really unique pieces that we bring back that people remember. And
those amazing masks.
Always the masks and enhance all of our attractions. And definitely want to focus on the swine too to enhance that.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some crazy pigs out there.
We have some fun, we have some fun ideas, and so we're excited for that. And hopefully we can find some additional things when we're there.
Hopefully.
We will.
Mister, I've got a different box at my desk every day.
Well,
He's going to find plenty of things.
I know. We'll find stuff, and it'll be really exciting.
So we'll talk about that a little bit when you get back.
Yeah.
Some of those fun finds. Well, what do you think? We start answering some listener questions with the mail train.
Mail train.
Okay, so we have this super awesome thing now online that you can go and you can ask us your questions really, really easy.
Yeah.
And we thought
you can only ask those once because it's a loyal listener.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So
our loyal listeners, you get one big question. And when you go in there, you become a loyal listener. And here at the end of the mail train, we're going to be choosing our winner for this week. We're going to call you live. Yeah. Here's to hoping you answer.
Hope you answer.
If you don't, I'm just going to stalk you later, but at least we're going to give it a shot. So let's start with some questions first. Bethany,
where can they?
Oh, yeah. I guess I should tell you.
Find this.
silverwoodthemepark.com/podcast.
Yes.
And also links are up in our socials and everything like that. So
if you've already signed up, you can't sign up again for this, but you can always email podcast@silverwoodthemepark.com
if you have more questions.
Any more questions.
Yeah. But tell your friends, tell your family.
Yeah.
It gives you a reason to listen to us because we just might call you.
And give you 2 tickets.
Yeah. And you get to be on the podcast.
Which is
like,
great.
It's amazing.
It's
like, you're going to be such a big deal. Full-time celebrity.
Yeah,
15 seconds of fame with Silverwood. That lasts forever.
That lasts as long as this podcast lasts.
Yeah, pretty much. But still, something very, very cool you can look back on. So, okay, let's answer some questions. Bethany Starr wanted to know, what's our favorite Silverwood show and why?
Like, show in the park?
I think so,
That's
yeah.
what we're talking about? Okay.
What's your favorite?
Gosh,
You know what my favorite is.
What's your favorite?
Gypsy.
You like the magic show.
I love the magic show.
Is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's amazing, and it's upgraded this year. I met a couple new cute little floofs that are going to be a part of the magic show this year, and I've been spending a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
And they're really excited to present themselves.
Great.
Mm-hmm. I can't say
So
anything else,
since you went that way, man. Well, because I'm the director of entertainment out here, and so it's really hard for me to pick. If I had to choose, I would say the train.
Obviously, you're Dynamite Dan.
I know, but I love playing Dynamite Dan.
And you're perfect at it.
And the train this year is going to be really, really fun. We have some really new fun things that we're going to add. And but I also really like the Marvin and Friends show.
I know.
Because I wrote that show too. And so I'm kind of being torn in 2 places.
Yeah. You can say it's a tie.
It's a tie between those 2 shows.
Yeah. I love Marvin.
Marvin, yeah, and we have some really fun things with Marvin this year.
It's going to be awesome.
Some new, we call it Eatertainment. Eatertainment, which is when you're just sitting there eating, they're going to be talking and telling some fun stories. I think we have an additional 7 new like mini shows that we're going to have in there.
Awesome.
And that's in addition to the 2 we had last year, and then the full show, which is like a 20-minute show that goes on in there. So there's going to be
no more awkward silences.
No more just
silent.
No more just background music. They're gonna be chatty this year.
Oh yeah, they're
chatty, very chatty. Especially Elmer. Elmer's chatty.
Aching to come out of hibernation. Like,
well, guess what? So this is kind of a funny story.
Okay,
so,
I want to hear it.
We've been testing some new speakers in there.
Okay.
And so we turned on Marvin and all them and just made sure they're all working and all that stuff. Well, we didn't turn them off, and so I get a phone call on Saturday from Michelle, who's on the show. She was doing a birthday party for her daughter in there, and she's like, she calls me and she goes, "How do you turn off these animals? They're talking to us, and I can't stop it." So we're sitting. I'm trying to like talk her through how to shut them off, and they finally got it so she could have her birthday party. But oh man, they've been going for probably a couple weeks now.
Well, okay,
having their own private shows,
their own conversations. Well, like I said, they're ready to come out of hibernation. So I don't know what I would do.
You would have freaked out if they started talking.
It's like dark in there, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I would have needed a second pair of underwear after that.
Funny.
Not that they're scary, because they're not scary, but in the dark,
yeah.
when a taxidermy head starts talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You would run out of there.
Those kids are going to have something to talk about forever. That's so funny. So there's that answer. And she also wanted to know if there was a pressed penny machine at Silverwood.
Yes, we do have pressed pennies.
Yeah.
I don't know how many. I know we're getting more this year.
Yeah.
So I know we've been working on designing those. I know there's one at the entrance of the water park. We're going to have one in the front coffee house.
Yeah.
The Penny Arcade, TREMORS has one. I think, and there's also a new medallion machine, which will be, I think it's at the front coffee house as well.
Nice. And I know that our graphic designer has been working really hard to get those designs ready to go for this year. So very good question. Very relevant
that's a good one.
I haven't heard that one yet. So on to Jennifer. She was wondering, when are you doing Night of the Stars? And how does one sign up for it? My brother is disabled, and this is one of the days he always looks forward to.
Yeah, so Night of the Stars is our night every year where it's truly the best night of the entire season. And so it is, we give free tickets to what we call our stars, which are mentally and physically disabled friends that are out there that want to enjoy the park and maybe need a little more time to get in a roller coaster or stuff like that. And so we open up this night, give them a free ticket, and give their a caretaker a free ticket as well. And so they come out, and then they can purchase some extra tickets for friends and family. We haven't sent out the registrations yet. They go to our the providers for these stars, and those will be coming out soon.
Okay.
New this year, we are going to be doing 2 nights.
Oh,
so
that's breaking news right there.
We've heard over the years, it's definitely popular and it's gotten pretty busy, and so we want to make sure that we're giving the best experience possible. And so we were splitting it into 2 nights, and that will be the 15th and then the 16th. And so part of this process includes a little lottery where the providers pick what night they want to choose to bring their stars out. And so we have to go down that road just to give a better experience for everybody.
That's awesome. Oh,
yeah,
I can't wait.
It's
I can't wait for my first night of the stars. It's going to be, so wonderful.
My gosh.
I can't wait to meet everybody.
It's definitely, I think, my favorite night of the year.
Yeah.
And I ride the train because we just load and go. And we remove almost all of the back seats of the train.
Oh, okay.
Because we have so many wheelchairs that come in. So we are loading, and sending them out. And then they come back and there's a huge line of wheelchairs. We load them. It is so much fun. And we get a ton of volunteers, local volunteers that come out and help us lift people out of wheelchairs and do all that extra work that we just don't have the labor for.
Yeah. Are we looking for volunteers? Is there a way someone can sign up?
We're always looking for volunteers, and we typically send that out. But if you would love to volunteer, you can just email marketing@silverwoodthemepark.com, and then we can get you on a list to see if we need extras this year, especially with having 2 nights.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, it's going to be great. That's a great question.
That is
so
a good
thank
question.
you, Jennifer, for that. What do you say we call our winner?
Yeah,
okay.
I have a little intro.
You have an intro
for us to pick our winner.
Okay. So let's get to choose.
So we got to generate a random number.
Yeah.
And so we are going to generate.
Okay, let's generate.
And then here we go. We're going up the roller coaster.
I'm so excited.
We have a winner.
Oh, we got it.
And our winner is we're gonna call Paige. She's in Missoula, Montana. Okay. It looks like she's got a family of 4. And it looks like her kids come there for their birthday every year. And she says that the travel from Missoula is absolutely worth it. So you think Paige is going to answer her phone?
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know either. We're going to give it a shot, though.
Hello?
We got an answer. Hey, is this Paige?
Yes.
Paige, this is Sara and Jordan from the Silverwood Show podcast. How are you?
Oh my gosh. Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Hi, we're so happy you answered. Oh my gosh.
We're having a debate.
We were so nervous. We're like, it's our first time actually calling.
I was like, who's calling me from Coeur d'Alene? What's going on?
That would be us. Yes. Hey, we're so happy you signed up to be one of our loyal listeners. And so we're calling you here from the podcast. You are going to be on this week's podcast. We wanted to give you and your family of 4 tickets.
Oh my God.
That way you can come up for birthdays and worry about one less thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We're so excited.
We're excited that
we're so excited. Tell us about your kids.
Oh, I have an 8-year-old boy, Grayson, and then my daughter is 4. And we actually I grew up in Spokane, so we went to Silverwood quite a bit, and I was actually able to start taking my kids, and they love it. And, my son, he plays soccer, he plays the drums. My daughter, dances and plays soccer, and they're great kids, and I can't believe that this is actually happening.
They're going to be so excited.
What are their favorite rides when they're here?
Yeah.
My son, I can't think of the name of it. It's the water one. Oh my gosh.
Thunder Canyon,
on the theme park side?
Yes, on the theme park side.
Yeah, Thunder Canyon, log flume.
Yes, yeah. And then my daughter, she does get kind of nauseous. She gets very much sick, so she loves the Ferris wheel.
Oh, that's a little nostalgic.
Yes, we're okay with that.
Yeah, it's the best view in the park, I think.
Absolutely.
I was taking so many pictures. I'm like, there's my car. I'm sorry, I'm like shaking right now.
Oh, this is exactly the reaction we hope for.
Well, we're so excited to have you come out.
Yeah. So I'm going to get a hold of you here after we get off the podcast. And I'm going to shoot you an email to that email, or I'll give you a call, one or the other. So keep an eye out for both.
Okay. I appreciate you guys so much.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
And you're going to have your kids listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
So that they can
everything
hear you.
about you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We're so excited to have them. So what were their names again? Grayson
and Blakely.
and Blakely. We can't wait to see you at the park, Grayson and Blakely. And we hope that you'll tag us in all your photos and let us know you're here and all of that too. So
of course. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
You're so welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you for making the drive over here so that your kids can experience that. So thanks for being a loyal listener.
Yes.
And we will be in touch and we'll see
you
you this summer. You're our first one. Congratulations, Paige.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll give you a call back here in a little bit.
Okay, sounds good.
Have a great day.
Bye.
You too. Thank you.
Aw, how exciting. Our first loyal listener, and that could be you next. So make sure you sign up at Silverwood Theme Park /podcast.
SilverwoodThemePark.com/podcast. But yes.
What Jordan just said.
You were very close.
I was so close.
You were so close.
I was so close. It's a jumble. It's a mind jumble. So I feel so happy about that.
Yeah, that was great.
That was great. So what do you say? We got
some big news.
Some breaking news.
Breaking news.
A seismic upgrade.
And we can't wait to share it with you.
No, we can't. With the big drop.
The big drop.
Ooh, it's a big day, Jordan.
Sure
we have some pretty exciting news. I love it when we have exciting news and when our podcast listeners get to be the very first to hear it. So you are literally hearing this here first. There's a seismic upgrade.
Well, we've been talking about it for how long?
Quite a while, if you've been following Trackless Tuesday.
Our Trackless Tuesdays. And so we've had some roller coasters without track, and we're going to kind of announce what we're doing there. So, but first we have a clip to play.
Okay.
Ready?
Go.
For years, thrill seekers have braved the underground monster. It shook riders to their core, but it was just the beginning. Get ready, because the beast is being reawakened. In 2025, Tremors is undergoing a seismic upgrade. We're talking brand new Millennium Flyer trains, sleek, stylish, and ready to shake, rattle, and roll you through every twist and drop. We've added a second train to boost throughput, so you can ride again and again and again. Hold on tight, because there's more. 208 Retrack, a cutting-edge steel track, now rumbles beneath your feet, giving you a smoother, quieter ride. It's the same heart-pounding, ground-shaking coaster you grew up with, only now it's unleashed to the next level. Grab your friends, your family, and a second pair of underwear. Rediscover the legend. Tremors. Only at Silverwood Theme Park.
Ooh, I have goosebumps. Such exciting news. And here we have a couple of very special guests to talk to us about this exciting news because when it comes to these kind of terms and whatnot, I'm not your girl.
The technical stuff.
Yeah, definitely not your girl. So I want to introduce to you guys, we've got Danny and Chase here in the studio. And why don't you guys tell us one by one? Danny, we'll start with you. Chase, who wants to start? We'll start with Chase. Okay, what do you do here and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I am the controls manager here. So basically anything in the park that moves something, I'm responsible for the controls that make that happen. Make sure it happens safe, make sure it happens the right way.
So kind of a big deal.
Yeah, especially with roller coasters.
Yeah, right? Okay, and how long have you worked here?
I've worked at the park this is my 12th season.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Off and on, I was seasonal for a while, and then I've been here full time for about 6 years.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So we have your counterpart here, Danny. Danny, tell us about yourself.
Just give everybody a picture of Danny right now.
Okay. Would you like me to describe him?
Describe him. You're looking at
Let's try and avoid that.
Okay. First of all, a lot of people would say he looks like a dirt biker. Right?
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
He has got the most luxurious beard.
Wow.
Apparently, his daughters love to put little bows and braid. Correct. He's rocking out the galoshes today. He looks like
I get in deep.
He's going fly fishing. He's got his sunglasses on in studio. And of course, his beautiful American flag hat. And he's, You're rocking out today.
It's the way I live.
This is the
normal
essence of ride maintenance right here.
That's right.
It really, really is. And so Danny,
Introduce yourself.
I'm the rides maintenance manager. I've been here since 2014. Basically, if it moves, it's mine. Anything from the coasters to the water slides to rolling stock and the train. So if it moves, it's mine, and Chase makes it move.
That's amazing.
We keep it running. So as a team, we keep things up and running.
So the moving water that's running through the park right now,
Totally different aspect.
Yeah, okay. So let's just say there's a reason he's wearing these galoshes today, because he's about knee deep in flood water.
Pretty rough out there right now.
So they really do work under all conditions. They're out here year round. I mean, a lot of people have seen you guys out and about on top of the coasters. Driving by just here on the freeway going, what are they doing up there?
How many people honk at you every day?
Yeah.
In town or just here?
No.
He's a big deal
when
everywhere.
you're on the roller coaster. That's what I'm saying.
It's actually quite often. Pretty much if you're up there and they see you, people will honk for you.
Yeah. That's what I kind of figured.
Give them a good little wave, say hi.
They see a beard flying in the wind.
Oh, man, that's why I check the wind.
Oh, my goodness. The next Herbal Essence commercial here.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay. So this is what these guys do. I, from here, am going to kind of hand it to Jordan, because I don't even really know what to ask, because this is, talk about it in layman's terms. For someone like me who just loves roller coasters, how is this going to make life easier for me in the park?
Well, for the TREMORS one that we're putting in, it's going to be pretty good for all of the people. It's going to be a lot smoother, more throughput, replacing all the traditional wood track with that 308 steel we're talking about. So a whole different wheel setup, different trains, different brake setup, completely different. So it should be very good, especially for the people that want to kind of step into a bigger coaster, but are kind of worried about how rough the wood coasters are. This should alleviate some of that. Not all of it, because it is still a wood coaster.
It's a wooden coaster.
It'll be a lot smoother, so we should be able to open it up to a lot more guests.
That's awesome. And then two
trains. So Chase is talking with GCI about these.
Okay, what's GCI first?
So GCI is Great Coasters International.
Okay.
They have been making rides for a long time, and we've never actually had any of their rides here before. But when we started looking at multiple trains, we started looking at all of the different options. I talked to GCI, I talked to Gravity Group, Rocky Mountain Construction. I even talked to Gerstlauer over in Germany to try and get as many different options as we could, because we want to make sure that we did the right thing for this ride. And it came out that GCI's done a couple things that were really good for us. One is that they can run with polyurethane wheels or nylon wheels that are going to be a lot quieter when you go through the track.
Thank goodness.
Like over by Spin Cycle where it gets really loud.
It's so loud. Especially, I feel
so
bad
loud.
walking by there, all the people sitting there waiting for their family to come off a Spin Cycle, and that roller coaster comes roaring around and it sounds like a jet engine.
Literally.
Yeah, that will be no longer, right?
In rides, we call that an experience.
Is it?
Yeah. Buzz the tower. That's what it sounds like.
That
Yeah.
experience will be a different experience this year, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Still great, but different.
It's different.
Still great, but
people
different.
do talk about that.
Yeah, people talk about it. We hear concerns from people how loud it is on the ride. So it's going to make that a lot better.
Okay.
It's going to be smoother. We are setting this one up, trying to get as many options as possible. So I actually have 3 different kinds of wheels that we can change out depending on the season, the time of year. So we always get that same consistent experience from the beginning of the year when it's like 40 degrees in the morning, when it's below freezing during Scarywood, or the peak of the summer and 110 degrees out.
Nice. Very nice. And that means more people onto the roller coaster, which means you can ride it more, right?
Exactly. Well, that's always the goal, right?
I mean, that's the
Throughput.
ultimate goal. So less waiting in line, more times riding.
Well, I think we've seen
more thrills.
We've seen this with Stunt Pilot, where the line really never gets extraordinarily long, right? So we now have that option with Tremors.
Yep.
It's amazing. Yeah, that's
we
absolutely
have the option. One of the big things that we really liked about these GCI Millennium Flyers is that they can run without seatbelts. We've been looking at trying to do multiple trains for like 5 or 6 years now on Tremors, and the big trouble that we have is that the ride itself is just the same amount of time that it takes for people to get on and off the ride. and seatbelts take up a big part of that.
Okay.
So by taking off those seatbelts, we can make it a lot easier to get people on and off, and we actually do double the capacity of the ride. You don't have to spend that time sitting outside the station.
Wait,
talk about safety with that.
The reason
safety,
wait,
yeah.
no,
Okay.
I'm going. Wait a minute.
it doesn't have the seatbelts. It has a different style of a restraint than our coaster. So just like all those other big coasters that you go out and go ride on that only have the lap bar or the other bar, this has the same safety features. It just alleviates the seatbelt from the older stuff.
I was going to ask if I was going to get a parachute because I figured I was going to be skydiving off that thing. So, okay, good. That's good to know.
It'll be safe.
Okay, it's still going to be very safe. Okay, tell me more. What else?
What about the track itself? Well, I mean, I know you guys have been how long have you been spending working on this track, getting it installed? What does that look like for Tremors?
Just for Tremors alone, for the past 2 to 3 seasons, we've been picking out sections because it's very costly and labor for the winters out here is a little rough. So what we do is we pick a section, the worst section, we go in, we redo all that. So we try to get the turns first because that's usually your roughest area for the guests. Yeah. So we got all the turns. Now we're getting into the straights. So we'll get all that stuff completed and in. I think it's going to be pretty nice. It'll be a great addition for Silverwood.
So excited. So it's called what? 208
Retrack.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then talk about 208 retrack and like.
For someone like me who's like, 208, that's like the area code of Idaho.
Right.
So
like,
on the track, the whole top is 8 layers of 2x6 or up to 2x12 on the top for the top layers. But what we did is we removed that entire top stack, and that's what creates all the humps in the track right there. So by putting the 208, it'll always keep its shape. Nice. So that way when you go, it's nice and smooth.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So not shaking around quite as much.
Not as nostalgic.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Which for someone like me whose bones are getting old, that can be a really nice thing, right? Yeah. So
and people do talk about like they like riding wood coasters because they like to feel that shake.
Yeah.
And so will you still feel that shake a little bit? I know we've already done some sections like the big helix in the middle after the first underground section was 208 last year. Mm-hmm. Last year was the first year with 208 in that section. Or was it the year prior?
Year prior.
Okay. So it's been a couple years there.
Yeah.
So people have experienced it already in that section.
Yeah. Tremors was kind of a hybrid. It had 3 or 4 different styles of track on it, and now we're going all to this 208. We still have a couple generations. There's a couple of differences that RMC's learned some things. We've taught them some things, especially with installing it. So they've made improvements there, and this is kind of the current generation or the final generation of it.
Nice.
That's great.
Like the roughest spots are on the drop hill, so having steel is actually going to be nice. The rest of the track is usually a little, wood coaster, but the drop hill is usually where most people feel that jolt because that's your highest G-force and your highest speed right there. So by having that smooth drop hill, it should be a really big, really great feature for everybody.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Makes the rest of the ride
done?
enjoyable.
How much longer?
When it's done, it'll be done.
Okay.
For 2025. For 2025.
Yes.
So still some work to be done.
We are working diligently on it. It is an intense amount of lumber, labor, work conditions.
Bolts.
My guys stay.
You were even showing me some of the bolts. I mean,
my guys
it's
stay out in the snow, the cold, the rain. They're workhorses, man. I appreciate those guys.
I took a walk out to take pictures in the snow one day, and y'all were out there it was crazy. It was coming down. I mean, knee deep in snow, and you guys didn't even blink an eye.
No,
that's what these beards are for.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, and we have to keep, it's the off season in North Idaho, right? And so we've actually had a pretty good off season as far as getting your work done.
It's been pretty decent for us. A little bit of rain, snow, and cold is normal. So the fact that it came in like kind of one really tight group, as long as I don't get too much more, I'm doing well.
So you're excited about this 50-degree weather we're about to have.
It's nice to wear a harness and be up in the structure up there with all your gear on is tough. My hat is off to those guys.
That's crazy.
I've done it, and they're a little more efficient than me because I'm getting old.
Whew. Makes my knees weak just thinking about it.
For Tremors, the whole track being redone, is even the topper track section, or is that staying topper track on the backside?
That backside's going to stay the original. Okay. All of the stuff that was wood is all removed already, and will all be the 208.
Okay. And Tremors is ultimately still staying Tremors, correct? Yeah. So nothing is really changing in terms of the ride is just becoming a bigger beastier.
Well, not only that, it's going to be more efficient for the guests, for them to be able to come in, not wait in line all day. It gives them a chance to kind of experience some more of the other rides at the park, which is what we're here for, is give everybody as many opportunities as they can to get on the ride. So by them letting us put in this track and stepping up the throughput, I think it's going to make a lot of people really happy.
So what does it take for us to put in a second train? What do we have to do? What do we have to change to make that happen?
I'll let him start.
There you go.
So like I said, we've been looking at this for like 5 or 6 years. And for a long time, the big struggle we have is that layout was never designed in mind for having a second train. So the brake run is exactly the length that it needs to be to stop one train.
Okay.
Great.
And it's done reliably.
Yeah.
It's whole time. But when we need to add a second train, we need to have more room there. We also need to have a way to take one of those 2 trains off in case we need to work on maintenance, an issue with one of the trains, if we don't have the staffing to be able to handle running 2 trains at one time, any sort of those issues. So we needed to find a way to extend part of this layout. And that's what they talked about originally. They talked about after you come out the last tunnel, going like into the pavilion area, coming back in the station. And it became this massive, massive project and rebuilding a bunch of the lift hill structure. And then we finally this year kind of came up with a way that we can do this really compact switch track. We changed a little bit of the last hill, but it's not enough that you're going to notice it. And we were able to put in our transfer switch so we can pull one of the trains off, put it in this new storage building that we're building. And that's going to allow us to make everything fit. We didn't have to even remove any trees.
Wow, nice.
That's good.
And
we need as much shade as we
can.
can get.
A little bit of a tight area back there, but we'll build it and get it in there.
Yeah. So when you say you had to change a little bit of that last bit of track, is that Rocky Mountain Construction that's kind of putting the schematics in there for that?
So we worked with Rocky Mountain. We worked with one of their engineers that does all their physics, Joe Draves, and tried to figure out how can we get. I think I needed to get like 6 more feet of straight track where we weren't bending in it, and they helped do all the physics and all the design to change that last hill to get me a little bit more straight track. We also leveled out the brake run for us. We're putting in new magnetic brakes.
Nice.
And so it's going to be a lot smoother when you come to a stop. They're also fail-safe. It's actually really cool the way that they work. They can fail-safe in like 4 different ways, but it always still stops the train.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Safety is definitely key. We like that.
And that's something that I know Gary has always talked about, specifically about why we've never had 2 trains, is because he didn't want to rely on computers, right? And so these like magnetic type brakes, that's kind of where we were headed, and that's kind of what Stunt Pilot does too, right?
Well, yeah, because the good news about those is they fail to on, so you may have to go out and get the guests off from the brake run or something. But those brakes, and almost every ride in the park is designed to fail to stop. So if all mechanical, all controls fail, it just is manually operated by itself, and it stays closed, and then we have to go.
Nice. Ooh, and I've seen some of the kind of blueprint-ish work, whatever, AI induced, I don't know what it is, but of what everything's going to look like. But yeah, those cars look amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are, how far are they along in that? When will we start seeing those show up at the park?
As we're sitting here talking about them, they were supposed to get the wheels last weekend from the manufacturer, or lots of different sets of wheels. They have the brake fins. They've got all of the chassis underneath of them done. And as soon as we get the wheels, they're going to flip the cars upside down, or right side up, because I build them upside down first.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
They'll flip them up the right way up. They'll put the seats on, put the restraints on them, and then they'll start heading out here. The goal is that they're on site April 1st.
Ooh, exciting.
And that's not a joke, right?
That's
not a joke.
Oh, yeah, right. April Fools. We're just
that would be rude.
That'd be
we'd
really,
be so
really mean
excited.
of us. Yeah, that'd be really mean of us. Okay, what other questions?
Well, I guess maybe even going back further is like, you've talked about how long we've been thinking about doing this, but like, when did this project actually start?
I think it was probably late July, early August of 2024 that we
finally pulled the trigger for it.
Finally pulled the trigger. We started looking at some of the that's the time we have to start really thinking, what are we going to do in the off season? What's coming up? And we started looking at the amount of track on Tremors that had to get redone. And it didn't make sense for us to redo just the wood part of it. And then like the next year, do all of these changes to try and put a second train on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So then we really started like, okay, how can we do all of this in one season?
Yeah. So what we ended up doing is, in order to put that track on, obviously we still put new lumber and everything underneath it. So it's not just set the track on and be on the way. Everything needs different adjustments and all kinds of science and everything that they put into it. It's kind of It's kind of a tedious task.
It's fascinating to me. Like geometry, math.
It's math.
It's hard.
It's math.
Jordan and I agree that math is hard. So it's really just incredible that you guys can.
Yeah. And so, and it's our guys that are putting all this down. It's your guys that are putting all this down.
Yeah,
like,
that's all.
What does that hours look like? What is their daily? What's their day look like on an average day doing this?
Usually in the morning, get here, have their cup of coffee, but they're out at the job site by 7:00 and getting their tools on and getting going. It could be depends on where they left off the day before, whether we're in a crane flying in track or building from the ground up. Like on the project that I'm on timber, we're building from the ground up as well. So there's quite a bit.
So I guess that's a good segue into what's being done with Timber Tear.
So Timber Tear, we found some sections that weren't as good as we would like them to be. So we ended up tearing out all that track and we're putting in that 208 from the top of the drop hill down over the first bump, like I was telling you, in that heavy G-force area. So that'll be nice and smooth and doesn't get the bounce. Then you'll go back into traditional track. And then you'll hit the topper in the turns and everything and then come back in. But I mean, for the drop hill, that's usually where most people take the most aggressive hit as far as the rough ride. So by having those done, it should be really good for people.
Nice
and smooth.
That's great.
Yeah.
And we work on that section a lot. Almost every year we have to do some sort of work. And the big thing with the 208 is that it keeps the same feel on the ride on there, but it's a lot easier for us to maintain. It's more consistent throughout the season. It's like you come out here the first opening weekend and all the wood coasters are super smooth and you love it. And you come out here the closing weekend of Scarywood and they feel like
they've gone through a season.
They've gone through a season.
They feel like all of us after going through a season.
What happens is that during the winter, the wood gets wet, so everything expands and stays nice and tight. So during the summer, my guys, every morning as they're going through on their inspections, they actually have to go through and tighten up all that hardware to make sure we keep that track stacked tight. So it's pretty time consuming. So maintenance wise, the first couple seasons, make sure everything's dialed in. And, obviously when you put that many nuts and bolts in, you got to go back through everything several times. So once we get all that stuff pretty dialed in, we'll be pretty good.
Yeah, that's tedious.
I think for the guests, it's just going to be nothing but good.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, they'll definitely see a difference, especially in the throughput itself. So, what is the time on that roller coaster, and what do we, I guess, expect or forecast what we could expect for getting back on the train, getting back on the ride, and coming back around?
Do you mean like an individual cycle?
Yeah, like an individual cycle, and like how much faster do you think we could go through?
So like right now, when we look at the data from we record all of this, we've been recording it for years now. It typically will dispatch a train. The train will come back and be fully parked in the station about a minute 35, minute 40. And then typically we don't dispatch that train again until almost 5 minutes. So we spend just as much time out on the layout as we are sitting in the track. And that's like everything went really well. We've got good operators. No one had any issues with like trying to take their purses or bags on the ride. Kids didn't need help, anything like that.
Seatbelts.
Yeah, seatbelts. Yeah. As soon as like seatbelt gets tangled, we have to deal with that. Or you get kids who are scared, anything like that slows it way down. So now looking at that ride time is going to be about the same, but our loading time should be significantly lower. I spent an afternoon and actually like timed how long the operator spent dealing with the seatbelt versus just checking the lap bar all the way through the train. And pretty consistently, the time that it takes for the seatbelt was about that minute and a half. So removing
just the seatbelt.
Just the seatbelt.
Removing that whole minute and a half.
Yeah, that's
will do
huge.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it doesn't seem like a lot, but out of the amount of cycles you'll get through the day, it will add up.
Yeah. By the end of the day, that's a lot of minutes. So for sure.
Yeah.
And I think I'd feel safer too. The seatbelt has never made me like feel super.
That's actually just a secondary.
Yeah.
Right.
So
the primary is your lap bar that comes down.
Yeah, and this lap bar is a little bit different. From people know from Tremors in the past that lap bar never gets really close, especially on real little kids. So this lap bar is designed differently so that actually the bar is between your legs and then it can come down a lot lower for kids.
Nice.
Yeah.
Feel a little more secure.
Yeah, they'll be asking about that for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And actually part of that changes, what we're pretty excited about is that it actually changes our height requirement on the ride.
Oh, talk about that.
So our previous wood coasters, the height requirement was always 42 inches to ride at all, and you had to be taller than 48 inches tall to ride without an adult or a supervising companion. And the new height requirement for Tremors is going to be 42 inches to ride and 46 inches tall to ride without that older supervising companion.
Oh, opening it up to some new
to ride by themselves.
coaster beginners. Yeah, that's great. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal.
Yeah, that will just help. I mean, it will just help when the parents aren't around and be able to go and ride that roller coaster at 46 inches. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gonna be great.
It's gonna speed things up too.
Also, I mean, we're gonna be leaning more into like the theming of this ride with earthquakes and all that. And so I've been talking with Chase about getting audio set up, and we already are going to have audio kind of on that ride for emergency sake, right? And that's kind of like how that typically is set up.
Yep, we want to have the ability to play audio and inform guests if they're on the lift hill, if anything stops for any reason. We want to be able to talk to the queue line so we can tell them like we're down for weather, if we have that kind of problem, or anything else we want to be able to say, safety spiels on the station. So all of that is getting upgraded, so we get a little bit more opportunities and better quality audio, and then we're also going to add that theming to it.
Yeah,
nice.
So leaning into that earthquake theme a little bit more than what we've done in the past. So,
and we just had an earthquake like a couple weeks ago.
Nobody felt it.
No, so now you can come feel it if you missed it.
Okay.
Right?
Feel the earthquake. If you missed it, feel it. Yes. There you go.
Hey, I missed it.
Whatever works.
I would have liked to have felt it. So here's,
Have you ever felt an earthquake?
No, I drove through one on my way moving back from Arizona. So it was Southern California, right near the Mexico border. And all of a sudden, all these alerts started going off on my phone as I was driving. Saying,
but you didn't feel it.
I didn't feel it. I was on the road. Yeah. So,
Ever felt any aftershocks?
Just this one. Oh, and I felt it.
Yeah, there you go.
But not
That
this
was
season.
punny.
Not this season, though. So I'm really excited because I'm going to need, to definitely get on that one. All of them.
Oh, yeah.
We'll I only rode Stunt Pilot and Corkscrew this year.
Stunt Pilot's already on the track, too.
It is? Let's go ride it. Can
we
you
can
fire
ride it right now?
No.
Come on.
Come on, please.
I thought I knew somebody that would help.
Can we do our next
you
podcast
thought you knew
on
somebody.
Stunt
I thought I knew
Pilot? Yeah.
No, we got it put on there today, so they still got to put everything together, run all the electrical and everything. But
If you need a guinea pig.
they're doing good. When that time comes, I'll give you guys a call.
Thank you.
We always like guinea pigs for those first couple rounds.
Just mic us up while we're on there. And
We've been doing this for so long; it's just normal work for us.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's why you need me.
Right. There you go. Need someone to scream the whole time around. Yes.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about in terms of other rides or anything like that that's going on in the park? Or is this like
anything different with other rides? Or is this kind of like taking your main focus
right now?
This is so much work. It's literally consuming me right now. So that's about as much as I can get done in a season.
Hey, we're pretty impressed by it.
On top of doing that, you got to figure we still have our normal rebuild.
Right.
You know, every weld, everything has to be gone through. So we still have, amongst our normal work we got to get done with the same amount of people, we have to get extra work done.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we'll make it happen.
Nice.
My days never, my time scale never does this. It only does this.
Especially as we get closer to season, more. Right? Yeah. So, how about Inside Scoop?
Let's go to the Inside Scoop.
Do you guys like our sounder?
You know what this is?
That's an ice cream.
You are right. Good job. Yes.
Where I come from, you don't go to the ice cream truck.
I got it.
Well, here you do. Yeah. And this is a special segment we like to ask our guests because we like getting some different opinions from different places in the park. So if you were to give one like super awesome VIP secret insider tip to a visitor, what would
first time or returning?
Yeah. Just what is your super secret awesome insider tip? Who wants to start?
Go Chase.
Chase is ready. I can tell. Yeah.
I would definitely say start out in the water park.
Okay.
You have to get here a little bit earlier because of that lineup for getting into the water park, but especially towards the end of the day in the water park, or like 2:30, 3:30, there's this weird lull and everyone kind of leaves the dry park. They all go to the water park. They get really short lines on all of the wood coasters. Everything going on there. At about 7 o'clock in the dry park, it's going to get really busy again because everyone leaves the water park. But then it's definitely going to die down at the end of the night.
Nice.
So if you can do it,
stay late.
Stay late.
Get here early and stay late.
Sunset from the top of a wooden coaster.
And get here on a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Tuesdays are also, we've noticed, are a little bit lower on the amount of people, but it seems like everything's flowing. Like everybody who has a 3-day weekend goes back on Monday, so Tuesday seems to be a pretty
That's a really
day.
good tip, actually. Yeah, and this is a guy that knows.
For
so
lines, yeah.
you know what you're seeing out there. So yeah.
Anything else? Any other tips that you could share? A double scoop? That was a double scoop, I guess.
That
was.
It was just,
or just two singles.
Yeah, two singles.
We got to cut back on sugar.
Oh, got it.
Oh, okay.
got it.
Okay.
Thanks for that.
Well, did I have any fun? Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask you guys, what's your favorite ride in the park? And how many times have you ridden it?
Oof. I'm an Aftershock fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many times have you ridden it?
In a day?
Consecutively?
I've done, I think, 6 times consecutively. But when I'm riding and it's not for the fun, we ride in different areas.
It was an aftershock. It's okay.
What we do is we ride it in different areas so we can listen to the wheels and the catch cars and stuff. So when we're out there riding it, it is a perk to have the fun, but we actually listen to the vehicles while we're riding, because when it's sitting still, you can touch and move, but when you start putting 30,000 pounds on something when it's moving, you can hear things. So it gives us a little second chance to go through it and double check our work and make sure we're 100%.
That's quite the job.
There's no area for slacking. We put people on rides, and it is it's pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
We double check and go through everything as much as possible.
You're literally the pilot of the ship, whatever. Wait,
Safety.
that's a captain.
You're the pilot of the ship. Here we go.
We're mopping up what you're spilling.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha. Okay, how about you, Chase?
I'm a big fan of stunt pilot.
Yeah.
Before that, it was skydiver. But
Oh, wow. Throwback to skydiver.
Rest in peace, skydiver.
I know.
Yeah, R.I.P. for sure. That was not my favorite.
That was one where you just get squished all the time. You better be the heavier person on that one.
Yeah, you gotta find the right person to ride with.
Yeah,
I rode that with my dad when I was a little girl. My dad was terrified. He's just holding on to me for dear life. And so, that wasn't my favorite.
Why skydiver?
Yeah.
I liked it. Again, you have the right person to ride with. It can be really fun. And it never had a long line.
True.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I like that one. You go upside down a lot.
Yes, you do.
You got to control that. You can just stay upside down if you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, that one did it have seatbelts?
That one just had one big lap bar as
Yeah,
part of the cage.
yeah, exactly. I remember that. Oh, I remember.
You
So.
flew around in that cage.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, because these are kind of insider tips too, because we want to know you guys' opinion. One food. It's your last meal, and you have to eat it here at the park. What's it going to be?
I don't usually eat here.
Well, pretend you had to.
I would. Well, you got to figure when we get to work during the weekdays, we get here at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we're out by noon, so we don't.
So
spend a
you've
lot of
seen
time.
all the yumminess throughout the park,
but
though.
I usually last time I was at Lindy's, I actually did like the burgers they had there. The Lindy's burgers were really good. If I had to pick, I would say that would probably be my best area.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, it is. I can smell them upstairs
Yeah,
sometimes, and
we
it's like,
smell them all day
"Whew,
long."
oh my
I'm only
gosh."
here because I thought we were getting them.
Oh,
I apologize.
sorry. That was last week.
Yeah. You need to be on when Rochelle's on.
Exactly. All right. How about you, Chase?
I think probably the new rice bowls we have in the water park from last season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good call.
those were good.
Yeah.
And they were different. We haven't had really stuff like that before.
I was a big fan of those too.
Which flavor did you like?
I like the orange chicken ones better.
Orange chicken, that was a good one.
Yeah, same. Good call.
That's great.
So there's a little insider tip for everybody, and come out to the park for a seismic upgrade this summer, kind of times 2, 3. I mean,
But seismic upgrade on Tremors.
Yeah.
And then Timber Terrace getting some love too.
Exactly. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be a great year.
So many more times to ride.
Yep.
It's over and over and over
And over.
again. Okay, with
Many,
that.
many times.
Oh, we're hiring him next
Yeah,
time. for the
you're our
voice
voiceover
guy.
person now. Hello.
Just a bit outside.
Wow.
And with that, we're going to say goodbye, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Until next week. And that's a wrap on this week's ride. Thanks for tuning in to the Silverwood Show. If you had a blast, make sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share the fun with your fellow thrill seekers. Got a question, story, or suggestion? Send it our way to podcast@silverwoodthemepark.com for a chance to be featured in our Mail Train segment. Until next time, keep your hands and feet inside the podcast and stay thrilling.
Let's go again! Silverwood, come join the